Shalom Aleichem, sweetest friends. This year should be a special schus for Miriam Bas Chaya L'Refuasa, Esther Bas Naomi Sarah L'Refuasa, or Yeshua Meir ben Sarah, or Reverend Rachel Sarah L'Refuasa, and Rafael Chaim Dov ben Risa Shoshana for Shlema, Chai Rezel Bas Dina for Shlema, Selch Shar Chole Yisrael. We're going to be starting with Siyata Dishmaya, a series of shiurim on the topic of Emunah. And this is based on the Shiur from page Reish Pei Vav in the second volume. We recognize HaKadosh Baruch Hu through three different revelations. One is Brias HaOlam, the second is Matan Torah, and the third is the Geula HaAcharona, the creation of the world, the giving of the Torah, and the ultimate redemption. In the creation of the world, HaKadosh Baruch Hu creates the world, but He's hiding. Those are the 10 ma'amaros, the 10 utterances with which HaKadosh Baruch Hu creates the world. That's Him creating the world. He's behind it, but He's hiding within creation. And then came the Aseres HaDibros, Aseres HaMakos, which peel away, each one of the makas peeled away a layer of a mimer. So the first makkah peeled away the 10th mimer, and the second, the 9th, etc., until the 10th makkah, makkah's Bechoros, which means the first. That's what gets, that's parallel to the first of the Ma'amaros, which is Bereshis. The Gemara says Bereshis Nami Maimer. That's when HaKadosh Baruch Hu was revealed. So we get to before the Rashis, what's all behind the Rashis. But so these are Sarah Ma'amaros, concealed Hashem. And Avram Avinu, as the Rambam explains beautifully at the beginning of Avodah Zarah, was able to see through this concealment. But that's where it starts. It starts with Brias HaOlam, which is the concealment. Hashem is there. His fingerprints are everywhere in the universe. Wherever you go, you see the amazing complexity. But not just complexity, but the interactive complexity, integrative complexity. That not only are things so complex, but they're so complex in how they interact with everything else. So if everything is working together, you just know that something is up. And that is HaKadosh Baruch Hu's way of revealing Himself in the Bria. And you can come to amazing heights in Avodas Hashem when you just look at Hashem through the Bria. You see the world, you see creation, you see that there's a God, and you know that there's a more spiritual purpose to the world. Avram Avinu found Hashem. How did he find Hashem? He found Him through Chesed. Why Chesed? Just because Avram Avinu was a great philosopher, how did it follow that he was necessarily a great Baal Chesed? So the answer is it doesn't always follow. But if a person does Chesed, he has a much greater chance of finding Hashem. Because Olam Chesed Yibane, Kadosh Baruch Hu created the world with Chesed, and every second is Chesed. You breathe, it's Chesed. Kol neshama tehalel kol haleluka. With every neshima, Chazal say you should read. With every breath, you have to praise Hashem that He's giving you this breath. If you've ever not had a breath, there are people right now in hospitals who wish they could just breathe unaided and are having trouble breathing. They need masks, oxygen masks, and other such apparatuses. And we can breathe. Thank Hashem. You can hear. If you're listening to this, chances are you can hear. If you're watching this, chances are you can see. So we have to thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu for His constant chesadim, and through that we find Him. Through appreciating and looking at the chesadim in the Bria and doing chesed, that's how we come to finding Hashem. Obviously, when you see the chesed in the Bria, it makes you want to do chesed. You see what life is all about. Life is all about chesed. That's what Hashem is doing all day, every day. He's doing chesed for us. So, Avram Avinu was an Isha Chesed, this man of kindness, and through kindness he found the God of kindness. And that's Brias HaOlam. It says, La'olam Hashem Dvarcha Nitzav Bashamayim. So your words are always in the heavens, meaning that the words with which you created the world. And Medrash says, Yehi Rakia, is what gives the Rakia its life. So it's the words of Hashem that create the world, the utterances. That's what gives the world its life, its existence. But that's God hiding in creation. Then we go further, and we get to Matan Torah. Panim bepanim diber Hashem imachem. Bahar misaycha eish, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu spoke to you face to face in the mountain from the fire. Which means that there we had a much more clear revelation of godliness. And that's the Aseres HaDibros, and after the Aseres HaMakos, which peel away all those different layers of creation, which help us see God clearly. Then further we have Aseres HaDibros. What do Aseres HaDibros do for us? Aseres HaDibros give us the reason for living, the deeper, the pnimius, the spiritual pnimius behind the Asara Ma'amaros. And but as in Matan Torah, there was this face-to-face revelation. And that's what the Rashba says, that we start Kiddush b'Lashon Nistar, Asher Kiddushaну Mitzvasa Ratzavanu, Shabbos Kadsho B'Rabba Rotzen Hinichilanu Zech L'Maaseh V'Reishis, that we start off talking about Maaseh V'Reishis in the third person, that He sanctified us with His mitzvahs, and He wanted us, and He gave us Shabbos with love and with will. That's all in the third person. But then we go weiter in the Hemshech, Zech L'Tzias Mitzrayim Kivanu V'Charta V'Osanu Kidashta. We speak to Hashem directly, because the pshat is we start that we don't know Him. We don't know Hashem because He's hiding. So Avraham Avinu found Him through the hiding, but it's hard to see Hashem through creation in a clear way. We know that He's there, but we don't know much about Him. We just know that He's a God and He's doing us a lot of chesed. And then we get the Torah, and then we know a lot more about Hashem, because that's Hashem's way of telling us. Hashem's way of telling us, this is what I want, this is what's important to me. And that's Matan Torah, and that's speaking to us directly. That's the direct revelation. And then we know Matan Torah continued, as the Ramban said, through Nevuah, through the Mishkan. That's HaKadosh Baruch Hu continuing Matan Torah, and that's God constantly revealing Himself to us. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us the Torah, but the Torah was not given to the other monotheistic religions, even though, as the Rambam says at the end of Hilchos Malachim, in the censored editions, but it's been proven. There's an article about it in the Yeshurun volume, in the Yeshurun Torah Journal, by Rav Havlin, proving that that's the correct Girs in the Rambam. It really is a correct text, even though some cast aspersions on it, that Muhammad and Yeshu are there to pave the way, that people should start believing in monotheism so that it gets them closer to Hashem. But ultimately, as the Rambam writes in the Geras Teiman, in his epistle to the Yemenites, Vein Hefresh Bein Doseinu Zos L'Shara Dosas, what's the difference between us and other religions? Hefresh Bein Adam Achaya Margish Bein Atzelim Shepas La'umen Me'etzo Sheyatzko Me'matechas. That's the difference. And the Kuzari, Ki Umas HaMesis Sherchav Shuli Damas L'uma Achaya. So we don't consider them living religions. The only living religion, true religion, is the true monotheistic religion, the source of the other well-known monotheistic religions, and that's the Torah, and that's Yiddishkeit. And then the third level of revelation is Lasid Lavo, like it says in the Smak, and the mitzvah of Anochi Hashem Elokecha, that Anochi Hashem Elokecha encompasses also the mitzvah to believe in Mashiach, because the true revelation of Anochi Hashem Elokecha is going to be when Mashiach comes. And that's really the ultimate purpose of the world. The purpose of the world, among other things, is that Hashem should be revealed. So Hashem conceals Himself within creation. That's Brias HaOlam. And then Matan Torah, Hashem reveals Himself to us. And then we go further to Geula, where HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to reveal Himself to us in a much more concrete way, in a much more evident fashion. So, Gemara says, Amar Shlakish, Kol ha'ona amen b'chol kocho poschon lo shari Gan Eden. Anybody who answers amen with all of his koach, you open from all the gates of Gan Eden. Shenamar pischu sharim v'yava goy tzadik shomer emunim. Open up the gates, and a nation of the righteous will come, those who guard faith. Adagri shomer emunim el she'omrim amen. Don't say shomer emunim, that they guard faith, rather that they say amen. My amen, Amar b'chanina kel melech ne'aman. God, the faithful king. Rashi says, Kach meid al baro shu kel melech ne'aman. That's how He's made on the bore, that God is a kel melech ne'aman. Hashem Elokim, our God, is a God of chesed. Olam chesed yibaneh. And when were we mamlechim as melech? When would we have this Kabbalah all? When He gave us the Torah, when we received the Torah. So He is going to ultimately redeem us and be Mechayim Esim. So what do you do when you say Amen? When somebody makes a bracha and you say, what does that mean? Kel Melech Ne'eman, that Hashem is a faithful God. How is He a faithful God? In that He created the world with chesed, is faithful to the world by creating it with chesed, and chesed is Kel, the name of Kel, Aleph and then a Lamed, that's the name of Chesed. Chesed Kel Kol Hayam. That's the name of Chesed. So when you talk about Amen, Amen is Kel Melech Ne'eman. So the Kel is that Hashem is Chesed. Melech, when did Hashem become a Melech? Hashem became a Melech at Matan Torah. And Ne'eman, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is faithful, when is He faithful? He's faithful to be Mechayim Mesim and bring the Geula. V'ne'aman ata l'hachios Mesim. You are faithful to be Mechayim the dead. So when you say the word Amen, what are you doing? You're echoing the sound of God, the voice of God, the existence of God in all three revelations. First is the Kel, that's the Chesed of the creation of the world, Olam Chesed Yibanet. And then Melech is that Hashem is Melech, that He became Melech when we were Makabel the Torah, Makabel is Malchus. And then Ne'eman is that He's faithful, that in the future He's going to be Mechayim Mesim, V'ne'eman atol achios Mesim. So when a person says Amen, Amen, Rashi says is Kel Melech Ne'eman, he's encompassing all these three revelations. And therefore, Memela, Poschem Lo Shari Gan Eden. Because what's Gan Eden? Gan Eden is this place of Nistar, this hidden place of godliness, of purity, of spirituality. So that's what happens when you say this Amen. You access that place. So that's the avoda, that when we say Amen, we should be thinking about this. Kel Melech Ne'eman, that God, you're faithful. And whatever this bracha says, I want to reflect it back. And I'm remembering the Kel, the Chesed of Hashem with Brias HaOlam, and the Ne'eman, and the Melech, that he's Melech in Matan Torah, and the Ne'eman, that he's Ne'eman Hachios Mesim, the three great revelations of God in world history. So that's the avoda of Amen, Shomer Amunim, Shomer Amen, Posel L'Shari Gan Eden, and V'siyata D'Shmaya. And the next year we will continue, B'li Neder, Hashem should give it the koach and the moch and the financial means. We will continue this critical discussion of Emunah. We should be Zochel Lumod U'Lamed Lishma B'las L'Kaim Skol Derei Sam V'Torah V'Yahava. Amen V'Amen. Shalom Shalom. Sweetest and most beloved friend.